The Builder by Willard Waddles. Read for LibriVox.org by Clarica. Smoothing a cypress beam with a scarred hand, I saw a carpenter in a far land. Down past the flat roofs poured the white sun, but still he bent his back, the patient one. And I paused, surprised, in that queer place, to find an old man with a haunting face. "Who art thou, carpenter of the bowed head, and what buildest thou?" "Heaven," he said. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Care Charmer Sleep from Delia by Samuel Daniel. Read for LibriVox.org by David Barnes. Care Charmer Sleep, son of the sable night, brother to death, in silent darkness born, relieve my languish and restore the light, with dark forgetting of my cares return. And let the day be time enough to mourn the shipwreck of my ill-adventured youth. Let waking eyes suffice to wail their scorn, without the torment of the night's untruth. Cease dreams, the imagery of our day desires, to model forth the passions of the morrow. Never let rising sun approve you liars, to add more grief to aggravate my sorrow. Still let me sleep, embracing clouds in vain, and never wake to feel the day's disdain. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Country Road by Mary Louise Hersey. Read for LibriVox.org by Clarica. I can't forget a gaunt gray barn, like a face without an eye, that kept recurring by field and tarn, under a Cape Cod sky. I can't forget a woman's hand, roughened and scarred by toil, that beckoned clear-eyed children, tanned by sun and wind and soil. Beauty and hardship, bent and bound under the self-same yoke, babies with bare knees, plump and round, and stooping women folk. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Height of the Ridiculous by Oliver Wendell Holmes. Read for LibriVox.org by Clarica. I wrote some lines once on a time, in wondrous merry mood, and thought, as usual, men would say they were exceeding good. They were so queer, so very queer, I laughed as I would die, albeit in the general way, a sober man am I. I called my servant, and he came, how kind it was of him, to mind a slender man like me, he of the mighty limb. These to the printer I exclaimed, and in my humorous way, I added as a trifling jest, "There'll be the devil to pay." He took the paper, and I watched, and saw him peep within. At the first line he read, his face was all upon the grin. He read the next, his grin grew broad, and shot from ear to ear. He read the third, a chuckling noise I now began to hear. The fourth he broke into a roar, the fifth his waistband split, the sixth he burst 5 buttons off, and tumbled in a fit. 10 days and nights with sleepless eye I watched that wretched man, and since I never dare to write as funny as I can. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
He mourns for the change that has come upon him and his beloved, and longs for the end of the world, by William Butler Yeats. Read for LibriVox.org by Caitlin Cooper. January 6, 2008, in Covington, Louisiana. He mourns for the change that has come upon him and his beloved, and longs for the end of the world. Do you not hear me calling, white deer with no horns? I have been changed to a hound with one red ear. I have been in the path of stones, in the wood of thorns, for somebody hid hatred and hope and desire and fear under my feet that they follow you night and day. A man with a hazel wand came without sound. He changed me suddenly. I was looking another way, and now my calling is but the calling of a hound, and time and birth and change are hurrying by. I would that the boar without bristles had come from the west, and had rooted the sun and moon and stars out of the sky, and lay in darkness grunting and turning to his rest. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
I Come Singing by Jacob Oslander. Read for LibriVox.org by Clarica. I come singing the keen sweet smell of grass cut after rain, and the cool ripple of drops that pass over the grain, and the drenched light drifting across the plain. I come chanting the mad bloom of the fall, and the swallows rallying in the clans to the rapid call from the hollows, and the wet west wind swooping down on the swallows. I come shrilling the sharp white of December, the night like quick steel swung by a gust in its plunge through the pallid ember of dusk, and the heel of the fierce green dark grinding the stars like steel. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Interlude by Edith Sitwell. Read for LibriVox.org by Clarica. Amid this hot, green glowing gloom, a word falls with a raindrop's boom. Like baskets of ripe fruit in air the bird songs seem, suspended where those goldfinches, the ripe warm lights peck slyly at them, take quick flights. My feet are feathered like a bird among the shadows scarcely heard. I bring you branches green with dew, and fruits, that you may crown anew your whirring, waspish, gilded hair amid this cornucopia, until your warm lips bear the stains, and bird blood leap within your veins. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Lone Dog by Irene Rutherford MacLeod. Read for LibriVox.org by Clarica. I'm a lean dog, a keen dog, a wild dog and lone. I'm a rough dog, a tough dog, hunting on my own. I'm a bad dog, a mad dog, teasing silly sheep. I love to sit and bay the moon to keep fat souls from sleep. I'll never be a lap dog licking dirty feet, a sleek dog, a meek dog, cringing for my meat. Not for me the fireside, the well-filled plate, but shut door and sharp stone and cuff and kick and hate. Not for me the other dogs running by my side. Some have run a short while, but none of them would bide. Oh, mine is still the lone trail, the hard trail, the best. Wide wind and wild stars, and hunger of the quest. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Long-Nosed Fair by Christopher Smart. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. Once on a time I fair Dorinda kissed, whose nose was too distinguished to be missed. My dear, says I fain would kiss you closer, but though your lips say aye, your nose says no, sir. The maid was equally to fun inclined, and placed her lovely lily hand behind. Here, swain, she cried, mayst thou securely kiss where there's no nose to interrupt thy bliss. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Song of Myself, Section 20, by Walt Whitman. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. Who goes there? Hankering, gross, mystical, nude. How is it I extract strength from the beef I eat? What is a man anyhow? What am I? What are you? All I mark as my own you shall offset it with your own, else it were time lost listening to me. I do not snivel that snivel the world over, that months are vacuums and the ground but wallow in filth. Whimpering and truckling fold with powders for invalids. Conformity goes to the fourth removed. I wear my hat as I please, indoors or out. Why should I pray? Why should I venerate and be ceremonious? Having pried through the strata, analyzed to a hair, counseled with doctors, and calculated close, I find no sweeter fat than sticks to my own bones. In all people I see myself, none more, and not a barley corn less. And the good or bad I say of myself, I say of them. I know I am solid and sound. To me the converging objects of the universe perpetually flow. All are written to me, and I must get what the writing means. I know I am deathless. I know this orbit of mine cannot be swept by a carpenter's compass. I know I shall not pass like a child's curlicue, cut with a burnt stick at night. I know I am august. I do not trouble my spirit to vindicate itself or be understood. I see that the elementary laws never apologize. I reckon I behave no prouder than the level I plant my house by, after all. I exist as I am. That is enough. If no other in the world be aware, I sit content, and if each and all be aware, I sit content. One world is aware and by far the largest to me, and that is myself. And whether I come to my own today, or in 10,000 or 10,000,000 years, I can cheerfully take it now, or with equal cheerfulness I can wait. My foothold is tenoned and mortised in granite. I laugh at what you call dissolution, and I know the amplitude of time. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Song of Myself, Section 20, by Walt Whitman. Read for LibriVox.org by Katie Stafford. Who goes there? Hankering, gross, mystical, nude. How is it I extract strength from the beef I eat? What is a man, anyhow? What am I? What are you? All I mark as my own, you shall offset it with your own, else it were time lost listening to me. I do not snivel that snivel the world over, that months are vacuums and the ground but wallow in filth. Whimpering and truckling fold with powders for invalids, conformity goes to the fourth removed. I wear my hat as I please, indoors or out. Why should I pray? Why should I venerate and be ceremonious? Having pried through the strata, analyzed to a hair, counseled with doctors and calculated close, I find no sweeter fat than sticks to my own bones. In all people I see myself, none more and not one a barley corn less, and the good or bad I say of myself, I say of them. I know I am solid and sound. To me the converging objects of the universe perpetually flow. All are written to me, and I must get what the writing means. I know I am deathless. I know this orbit of mine cannot be swept by a carpenter's compass. I know I shall not pass like a child's carlicue cut with a burnt stick at night. I know I am august. I do not trouble my spirit to vindicate itself or be understood. I see that the elementary laws never apologize. I reckon I behave no prouder than the level I plant my house by, after all. I exist as I am. That is enough. If no other in the world be aware, I sit content. And if each and all be aware, I sit content. One world is aware, and by far the largest to me, and that is myself. And whether I come to my own today or in 10,000 or 10,000,000 years, I can cheerfully take it now, or with equal cheerfulness I can wait. My foothold is tenoned and mortised in granite. I laugh at what you call dissolution, and I know the amplitude of time. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Song of Myself, Section 25, by Walt Whitman. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. Dazzling and tremendous, how quick the sunrise would kill me, if I could not now and always send sunrise out of me. We also send dazzling and tremendous as the sun. We found our own, O my soul, in the calm and the cool of the daybreak. My voice goes after what my eyes cannot reach. With the twirl of my tongue I encompass worlds and volumes of worlds. Speech is the twin of my vision. It is unequal to measure itself. It provokes me further. It says sarcastically, "Walt, you contain enough. Why don't you let it out then? Come now, I will not be tantalized. You conceive too much of articulation. Do you not know, O speech, how the buds beneath you are folded, waiting in gloom, protected by frost, the dirt receding before my prophetical screams? I underlying causes to balance them at last. My knowledge, my live parts, it keeping tally with the meaning of all things. Happiness, which whoever hears me, let him or her set out in search of this day. My final merit I refuse you. I refuse putting from me what I really am. Encompass worlds, but never try to encompass me. I crowd your sleekest and best by simply looking towards you. Writing and talk do not prove me. I carry the plenum of proof and everything else in my face. With the hush of my lips, I wholly confound the skeptic. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Song of Myself, Section 27, by Walt Whitman. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. To be in any form, what is that? Round and round we go, all of us, and ever come back thither. If nothing lay more developed, the quahog in his callous shell were enough. Mine is no callous shell. I have instant conductors all over me whether I pass or stop. They seize every object and lead it harmlessly through me. I merely stir, press, feel with my fingers, and am happy. To touch my person to someone else's is about as much as I can stand. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Song of Myself, Section 34, by Walt Whitman. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. Now I tell you what I knew in Texas in my early youth. I tell not the fall of Alamo, not one escaped to tell the fall of Alamo. The 150 were dumb yet at Alamo. 'Tis the tale of the murder in cold blood of 412 young men. Retreating, they had formed in a hollow square with their baggage for breastworks. 900 lives out of the surrounding enemies, 9 times their number, was the price they took in advance. Their colonel was wounded and their ammunition gone. They treated for an honorable capitulation, received writing and seal, gave up their arms, and marched back prisoners of war. They were the glory of the race of rangers, matchless with horse, rifle, song, supper, courtship, large, turbulent, generous, handsome, proud, and affectionate, bearded, sunburnt, dressed in the free costume of hunters. Not a single one over 30 years of age. The second first day morning they were brought out in squads and massacred. It was beautiful early summer. The work commenced about 5 o'clock and was over by 8. None obeyed the command to kneel. Some made a mad and helpless rush. Some stood stark and straight. A few fell at once, shot in the temple or heart. The living and dead lay together. The maimed and mangled dug in the dirt. The newcomers saw them there. Some half killed attempted to crawl away. These were dispatched with bayonets or battered with the blunts of muskets. A youth not 17 years old seized his assassin till 2 more came to release him. The 3 were all torn and covered with the boy's blood. At 11 o'clock began the burning of the bodies. That is the tale of the murder of the 412 young men. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Song of Myself, Section 39, by Walt Whitman, read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. The friendly and flowing savage, who is he? Is he waiting for civilization, or past it and mastering it? Is he some Southwesterner raised outdoors? Is he Canadian? Is he from the Mississippi County, Iowa, Oregon, California, the mountains, prairie life, bush life, or sailor from the sea? Wherever he goes, men and women accept and desire him. They desire he should like them, touch them, speak to them, stay with them. Behavior lawless as snowflakes, words simple as grass, uncombed head, laughter, naivete, slow-stepping feet, common features, common modes and emanations. They descend in new forms from the tips of his fingers. They are wafted with the odor of his body or breath. They fly out of the glance of his eyes. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Song, Why So Pale and Wan, Fond Lover, by Sir John Suckling, read for LibriVox.org by David Barnes. Why so pale and wan, fond lover? Prithee, why so pale? Will, when looking well can't move her, looking ill prevail? Prithee, why so pale? Why so dull and mute, young sinner? Prithee, why so mute? Will, when speaking well can't win her, saying nothing do't? Prithee, why so mute? Quit, quit, for shame, this will not move, this cannot take her. If of herself she will not love, nothing can make her, the devil take her. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
To F.W. by Edith Wyatt, read for LibriVox.org. You are my companion down the silver road, still and many changing, infinitely changing. You are my companion. Something sings in lives, days of walking on and on, deep beyond all singing, wonderful past singing. Wonderful our road, long and many changing, infinitely changing, this more wonderful. We are here together, you and I together. I am your companion, you are my companion, my own true companion. Let the roadside fade, morning on the mountain top, hours along the valley. Days of walking on and on pulse away in silence, in eternal silence. Let the world all fade, break, and pass away. Yet will this remain, deep beyond all singing, my own true companion, beautiful past singing. We were here together, on this earth together. I was your companion, you were my companion, my own true companion. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Read by Alan Davis Drake. To Those Who've Failed by Walt Whitman. Read for LibriVox.org. To those who've failed in aspiration vast, to unnamed soldiers fallen in front on the lead, to calm, devoted engineers, to over-ardent travelers, to pilots on their ships, to many a lofty song and picture without recognition, I'd rear a laurel-covered monument, high, high above the rest, to all cut off before their time, possessed by some strange spirit of fire, quenched by an early death. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Read by Alan Davis Drake.
Upon the Banks of Flowing Clyde by William Reed. Read for LibriVox.org by Colin McRoberts. Upon the Banks of Flowing Clyde. Upon the banks of flowing Clyde the lasses busk them braw, but when they're best they hae put on, my Jeannie dings 'em a'. In hamely weeds she far exceeds the fairest o' the town, baith sage and gay, confess it say, though dressed in russet gown. The gamesome lamb that sucks its dam mair harmless canna be. She has nae fault in sic ye cat, except her love for me. The sparkling dew, o' clearest hue, is like her shining een. In shape and air, what can compare with my sweet, lovely Jean? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
When We Are Parted by Hamilton Aida. Read for LibriVox.org by Divine Words user. When we are parted, let me lie in some far corner of thy heart, silent from the world apart, like a forgotten melody, forgotten of the world beside, cherished by one and one alone, for some loved memory of its own. So let me in thy heart abide when we are parted. When we are parted, keep from me the sacred stillness of thy night, that hour that sweet love is mine by right. Let others claim the day of thee, the cold world sleeping at our feet. My spirit shall discourse with thine. When stars upon pillow shine, at heart's door I stand and beat, though we are parted.
This has been a LibriVox recording. This poem is in the public domain.